Did you know that one of the most bizarre musical errors of all time in Disney was corrected in this live-action adaptation of The Little Mermaid?
A lot of things can go wrong.
It's absolutely normal for two films with the same story to have differences between them, as many things change over time, right? Especially if the time gap between the films is 34 years, as is the case here.
That looks really old.
And with the two films about Princess Ariel, it wouldn't be any different. Now the question is, do you know exactly what changed from one film to another? If you don't know, don't worry, because we do. And we'll tell you everything right now. Prince Eric singing. Prince Eric was, at least until now, the only prince who hadn't sung a solo song in any of the Disney movies. And we see that this bizarre mistake was corrected in the new film. We see Eric singing this time even on the edge of a cliff with the song Wild Uncharted Water. This brings a bit more balance, considering even the chef had a song in the original film, and we have to say the song is really cool.
Thanks, man.
Film duration. One of the main differences between the 1989 film and the 2023 film is that the current film is nearly an hour longer than the original. Much of this is due to the fact that many things in an animated film, where fantasy is more evident, do not need to be explained. But in the live-action film, some explanations are necessary, which help to lengthen the movie a bit. Also, the story between Ariel and Eric is more fleshed out, where we see them having fun moments together, like at the Kingdom Fair, which is good since it wasn't in the original film. Eric's origin. In addition to what we've already mentioned, another change in the story is Eric's origin. In the 2023 film, it is shown that he was adopted by the royal family, which did not happen in the 1989 film. In the original film, there is no mention of him being adopted, after he appears on the beach as a child following a shipwreck where he becomes an orphan. But in both films, he loves to sail, and that remains the same. Thankfully, otherwise, he and Ariel wouldn't have met. Queen Selena. Even though the story is basically the same, there are some new characters in the new film. Queen Selena is one of them. The super protective mother of Prince Eric is played by actress Noma Dumezweni, and she is the one who rules the kingdom. She doesn't understand Eric's strong desire to always be at sea and wanting to discover new things. Less vibrant colors. The underwater world is naturally a dark place, and since it's a live-action film, it would be somewhat unrealistic to create an underwater setting with more vibrant colors, like in an animated cartoon where everything is brighter and more colorful. So in this aspect, we can say that Disney was consistent, but when it comes to being unrealistic or not, the whole story is, isn't it? After all, we're talking about a mermaid who becomes human. In other words, it's all pure fantasy, which is great. That's why some film critics made this observation, claiming that Disney could have added a bit more color to the moments when the songs of the film weren't being sung. Absence of some songs. Despite Rob Marshall, the director of the film, stating that he would use all the original songs from the film, we see that he changed his mind over the course of these 5 years of film production. For example, the first song from the 1989 film, Daughters of Triton, was removed from the live-action version.
Sebastian wrote her voices like a bell. She's our sister, Ariel.
In this song, we see Ariel's 6 sisters joyfully singing to their father, King Triton. But despite Ariel's sisters being in the film, they don't sing this song. Change in Ariel's sisters' names. Speaking of King Triton's family, another change involves the names of the monarch's daughters. While in the original film, all of them had names starting with the letter A, like Ariel. This pattern was altered in the film. Originally, their names were Atina, Alana, Adela, Aquata, Arista, and Andrina. Now in the new film, their names have become Caspia, Indira, Karina, Mala, Perla, and Tamika. Truly different names. And now, let's talk about the most significant differences. And some of them involve the wicked villain of the film, Ursula. So if you're enjoying the video, comment down below, #Ariel, so we know that you're also a fan of The Little Mermaid, whether it's the original version or the live action. Change in Ursula's spell. Now let's talk about something subtle, but that added a significant difference to the film's plot. While in the original, Ursula exchanges Ariel's voice for her transformation into a human. In the 2023 film, she adds a bit more wickedness to her spell. In addition to stealing the princess's voice, The villain also causes her to have a specific form of amnesia, as Ariel forgets that she needs to kiss Prince Eric. This increases the risk that Ariel faces, but at the same time, it makes the love bond between Ariel and Eric even more genuine. Ursula is truly malicious. Less terrifying Ursula. One thing is for sure, good movies need good villains. Just ask Puss in Boots 2.
Thanks. Good to meet you, too.
And you can be sure that Ursula is one of the most frightening villains in all Disney films. Those who watched the first film will surely remember the eerie and terrifying expressions of the villain as she was about to steal Princess Ariel's voice. She literally sent shivers down your spine. In the case of the live action, although Melissa McCarthy fit well into the role of the villain, it wasn't possible to notice any major terrifying moments imposed by the character as it happened in the original film. So this is definitely one of the most striking changes between the two productions. However, even though Ursula became less terrifying, we cannot fail to mention that there is a moment at the end of the film where she does manage to be scary, when she becomes giant and acquires a kraken-like appearance. Gills appear on her cheek and her eyes become truly menacing. That scene was really cool. But overall, she was less dark than her animated film version. New songs. Just as some songs from the classic didn't appear in the new film, other completely new ones were included. In total, 3 new songs were included in the film, including the one sung by Prince Eric that we mentioned at the beginning. Apart from that, there is another song sung by Ariel and a third one sung by the trio of Ariel's helpers, Flounder, Sebastian, and Scuttle. Chef Louis was not cast. We also missed the beloved Chef Louis, the French cook who serves Prince Eric in his castle. He sort of left a mark on everyone's mind, chasing poor Sebastian with the intention of cooking the poor crab. He sang the song Les Poissons while attempting this. Let's say crabicide.
Les poissons, les poissons. Vous écriveurs, ils aiment tout.
Sebastian. So we see that the life of Princess Ariel's crab friend was a bit less turbulent in the current film, since no one tried to cook him this time. But there are also other differences. Sebastian was the official composer of the Underwater Kingdom, and he even conducted the song Daughters of Triton, which was cut. In other words, he sorta got removed from that position. I wonder if they cut a piece of his salary. Flounder. Another companion of Princess Ariel is our dear Flounder. The famous little yellow fish was very successful both in the film and in the 1992 animated series of The Little Mermaid. And we see that he looks very different in the live-action film, very realistic, which displeased some fans, I have to say. Scuttle. The same thing happens with Scuttle, the slow-witted seagull, which remains his trademark. In the film, the bird ceases to be a seagull and becomes a frigate bird, a different species of seabird. Another difference is the appearance. Like Flounder and Sebastian, he looks like a real animal, nothing too fantastical. There's also another difference. Aquafina, a woman, provided the voice for Scuttle in the live action, unlike all the previous films and appearances where the seagull had male voices. Eric and Ariel's wedding. And finally, let's talk about the end of the film. Yes, the irony was intentional. In the animated film, we see the story ending with Eric and Ariel's wedding, but in the live action film, that is modified. Although they also get married, the celebration is not shown. They continue their journey through the sea to explore more things and places, bringing knowledge and prosperity to the kingdom that Eric will one day inherit. Well, folks, those were the main differences between The Little Mermaid live action and the original classic from 1989. Which of these differences do you think had the most influence on the film? Which one is your favorite? So, tell us, did you notice any other difference that we didn't mention? Comment down below. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Until next time, bye-bye!